Today we're going to be reviewing every business model I've ever tried. We're going to give it a rating out of 10 and we're going to give you the lessons I've learned doing those business models, and we're doing it right now. What's up, business builders? My name is Ben from bendonovan.co.uk. If you're interested in building businesses that bring you financial freedom, start now by hitting that subscribe button. Turn the notification bell on so you do not miss a thing in 2019. All right, let's get into the video. As many of you will know, if you've watched any of the content on my channel before, I'm really interested in business, particularly businesses that can free you up to live the life that you dream of, to live the life that you're purposed to live, to give back to this community and society, to make this world a better place. So I thought, having tried a whole load of business models over the years, it might be helpful for you if I broke down each one of them, real quickly and real briefly, but give you a rundown of, exactly why they did or did not work, what they were, and the lessons, more importantly, the lessons I learned from each of them that have got me to where I am today. So let's get right into it with business number one. What I'm going to try and do is do this chronologically. So when I actually started them, the age at which I started them, in chronological order, and see how we go with that. I've tried to remember all of them. Hopefully I haven't missed any businesses. There's quite a few in here. I've got 10 sort of business models in total. So stick around to the end because, really valuable lessons in each of them. So let's go. Number one, the first one was a stationary business, or, more specifically, I sold gel pens, right? At school when I was 11 years old. It was my first ever business, that I tried to do. I saw that gel pens were becoming really popular at school. And so I bought a pack of 10 from Tesco for £1. And then I sold them 2 for £1 at school to my captive market, but I quickly realized that this small market was going to run dry pretty quickly. And that business model never really took off. I tried a few other things like pogs and yo-yos and bouncy balls. Anybody remember those fads from school? Let me know in the description below if you had any other fads at school that you got in on and cashed in on. But those are mine, and but they were limited time things. So in terms of a success rating, the first business that I started, I'm giving this one a 3 out of 10. I'm probably being generous there, but I'm being generous because it was the first business I ever tried, and I made some money and it felt good. My profit margins were great, and it began this entrepreneurial journey that I've been on ever since. So a 3 out of 10, loads of room for improvement, but still I made some money. And my biggest lesson that I learned in this is that if a business is going to grow and be something that's big, you need demand and scalability. Important lessons to learn in business. My second business number 2, was a car washing business. Around the age of 12, 13, I began to go around the neighborhood and take my bucket and my sponge and my soap and ask if anybody wanted their car washed for £5. And I'm giving this business rating a 1 out of 10. An absolutely dismal 1 out of 10 because I only washed a few cars and they were pretty much all in my family. This business never got off the ground because I realized how hard that door-to-door marketing was as a 12-year-old kid, and also that because there was another kid that was a bit older than me, he was like 16, and he was dominating the area. He was like washing everybody's cars. He was my inspiration, but ultimately I never could match his skill at this business of washing cars, man. I was 12 years old and I could just never wrestle the clients away from him. So it's a 1 out of 10 on this business model. And what I learned is that if I'm going to go into a market, I need to find something where I can compete. Third business model that I tried as a kid, again, similar age, car washing didn't work. So I thought, let's try dog walking. I'm going to try a dog walking business. I'm going to put ads in the Friday ad, which was like a local advertising paper back then. And I'm going to walk people's dogs for them. I'm giving this one a big fat 0 out of 10. I've been ruthless now because I never walked a dog. I mean, what a failure of a business. The one thing that I could have done in that business, I never ever did. Not a single dog other than my own. We had 2 dogs, and there's no way my mum was going to pay me to walk those bad boys. And so I'm going to give that a 0 out of 10 because it never got off the ground. But what I learned is this, that you need a reputation in a market to be trusted. Dog owners, they need to trust the person that's going to look after their dog, because a dog is a man's best friend, and some people love their dogs more than they love their kids, for crying out loud. But I learned on this journey with this business that reputation is everything. People didn't trust me to walk their dogs, probably because I was a prepubescent teenager, but also because I had no reputation in the industry, no client referrals, no testimonials. I had no reputation, and it cost me my conversions. I didn't make any money with this business. It was a failure, and I moved on. 4th business I ever tried is property investment. I went quiet for a few years, realized that if I'm going to start a business and it's going to be something that's going to change my life and be a big deal, then I can't just play around and mess around with silly little business ideas. I need to go big on this. And so I became an estate agent at 18 and dedicated the next few years to really learning everything there was to learn about property, saving hard, building up finance for a deposit, and for starting that venture of property investment. I fell in love with property, and the idea of property investment was so driven towards it. And we were blessed enough, my now wife and I were able to buy a property when we were 20 years old. We bought our first property, a nice 1-bedroom apartment, which we still own to this day and still rent out and get profit from to this day. I'm giving this business model an 8 out of 10. An 8 out of 10 because it's so far so good, right? We now own 2 properties that we don't live in, that we rent them out for a passive income each and every month, and doing well. And we've got equity in the properties now. So far so good. It hasn't always been plain sailing, because we bought our first property in 2007, and if you know anything about the financial history of this nation, you'll know that was just before the global financial crisis, and that really hit property prices. And our plan was to buy that property. We renovated it, and we were looking to sell it in order to move on and do another one of those. But as soon as we'd renovated it and put it on the market, we had it on the market, had some interest of people to buy it, but then actually the global financial crisis hit, the property prices plummeted, and it was a blessing in disguise though, because we've been able to keep hold of that property for now over a decade. And it now provides us with passive income on the rent every single month. So it's an 8 out of 10 because it's so far so good, but there's still room to grow, and it's something that we're actively looking to build more into over the coming years. So great business model for people to get into, but what I've learned from this business model is it just takes time, right? You have to look at property investment for the long haul. You're not going to be able to build a huge portfolio quickly unless you're already a millionaire, or you've got some inheritance money coming in or something like that. It's going to be something that just takes time, but it's a great endeavor to do, because actually it provides passive income, which is where money comes in and you're not returning a whole bunch of time for it. So great business model to pursue, and one that I personally love. All right, the 5th business model that I tried when the property prices plummeted and I'm like, okay, I need to do something else here to supplement my income, was I tried to start a Courier Company. This business model, I'm giving it a success rating of 2 out of 10. It's a 2 out of 10 because I got a couple of small jobs, but never really got going. I tried to do it with my car instead of getting a van. I just only wanted to do small packages that were, quick, important packages that were small, and every company I would phone would say, well, have you got a van? Have you got a van? Have you got a van? They only wanted me on their books if I had a van. And what I learned in that lesson is that trying to do the absolute minimum, which is what I was trying to do, save money, cut costs, start something with the absolute minimum. By trying to do the absolute minimum, I can only have minimum expectations of return. If I want to do something on the absolute cheapest way possible, then I have to measure my expectations and realize that this isn't going to be something that's going to grow as quick as if I invest more into it. So that was a big lesson that I learned on my business journey. All right, we're halfway there and we're going into some juicy ones now. Business model number 6 is I actually ran an inventory company. So a company that provided inventories for letting agents. When someone moves into a property, an inventory needs to be compiled, including pictures, condition reports, etc., so that they've got something to compare it to when that tenant moves out. Now, I'm giving this a success rating of 7 out of 10. Reason being is that I ran this business for a decent amount of time. It provided a good income. I built it to the point where we had plenty of clients, and I was actually able to employ a team that was helped me run the business. It was something that was great for cash flow at the time. I did learn some lessons in this, however. This was actually a franchise of a business that I had invested into. And what I learned during this time was that franchises are great for cash flow, but they do restrict you in the building a brand. They do restrict you in building a saleable asset, something that has equity and something that has value within it. So they're a great option for cash flow, but limited in their ability to be able to then generate long-term value. So business model number 7, I started down the path of trying to build my own brands. I thought, if I want something that's going to be of value, long-term, large-scale value, I'm going to build my own brand. And so number 7 is I started a T-shirt company. And I'm giving this business a success rating of 5 out of 10. The idea of creating our own clothes and then marketing them and building a brand really did appeal to me, and it was a journey in which I learned a lot of lessons. We sold a bunch of the T-shirts, made our money back, but ultimately fell short in a number of areas on this business because it was the very first step in our e-commerce journey. It was the first brand, it was the first product we'd ever created, and it was my first attempt at trying to market these products with things like Facebook ads and different, building a brand, building social content, etc. So it was a real learning curve for me. The biggest thing I actually learned was how much I needed to learn. If I was going to build e-commerce brands, if I was going to build brands that we could sell online, I realized how much I needed to learn. I look back on that process now and I shudder. 4 years ago that was now. And I think, oh man, how green I was, how little I knew. But if you don't know how much you don't know, then you'll never be able to go on the journey of knowing it, right? So I'm so thankful that we took those steps, we did that, we did some stupid stuff on that journey, but it's taught us so much. We eventually put that business on hold. It's still on hold. It's going to come back. I'm in the works right now of creating something along a clothing line, and which is going to be exciting. Keep your eyes peeled for that. Hopefully this year. And it's going to be exciting, but it taught me so much about the e-commerce journey. It actually led me to my next business, which was a drop shipping business. And now drop shipping is kind of like a buzzword that goes around YouTube and the e-commerce world. And some people love it, some people hate it. I'm giving it, for us, a success rating of 4 out of 10. 4 out of 10, right? Because we made some money with it, made some okay money doing it, but I just always had this wrestle with drop shipping. I felt like I was just only doing this for money, I felt like I was only doing this just to get a bit of money from the customer, and I wasn't really providing any value back. I focused on a pet store, and we sold pet related products, and people liked the products to an extent, but they were average products. They weren't a great quality, and I personally didn't feel like I was adding much value to the customer. And for me, there was always this tension that was created within me, and I wanted to build a business that added value to the customer. I wanted to build good products that I was proud of, that I could show my friends, show my family, and say, hey, this is our product and I'm proud of it. And when we were selling like stupid cat socks and stuff like that, it was like, oh, am I proud of this, or is this just about making money? I never want to do something in my life that's just about making money. I want income to come as a result of adding value to people's lives. And so we decided that whilst it was a business model that worked for some, at this moment in time, it wasn't something that I was going to pursue when the other options that were available to me came forward. But what I did learn in this journey is the incredible power of targeted Facebook advertising. It really helped me on my marketing and advertising journey for the business that I would eventually do, and really helped me understand that and gain knowledge of that. And I'm so thankful for that stage of the journey. 9 out of 10, business model number 9 out of 10, slightly related to drop shipping, and that is a print on demand business, which ultimately is drop shipping. It's a business where you print products that you've designed that the customer buys, but you only print them when they buy them. So 1 unit at a time, 2 units at a time. So you don't hold stock, and therefore, you don't waste money on stock that isn't bought. And I'm giving this business a success rating of 5 out of 10 again, because it made some money and generated income. But what I found with this business is that the profit margins were too low initially to really create and generate income. With print on demand, what I've found in my experience is that you need to invest a lot up front in the marketing and the production in order to get it more profitable. If you solely rely on print on demand, you are paying a premium for those products, getting them printed and shipped because of the luxury of it being print on demand. So for me, the margins weren't as high as I would like, and in the process of the T-shirt company, drop shipping, print on demand, trying all these different models, trying all these different things were available, we found business model number 10, which is Amazon FBA, and which obviously, if you are a subscriber or you watch any of my content, really, you'll know that the big focus of this channel is Amazon FBA. And so the reason I talk so much about it and the reason I teach about it is because really I feel like my whole business journey has led me to this point. I started off trying to do things that didn't really have much demand, didn't really have much of a market, were reliant on me trading so much of my time for that money. And then I began to learn about how to build businesses online that were a lot more flexible, a lot more scalable, and but didn't feel like I was really offering much value back in return to the customer. And then I came across this idea of building a private label brand and then using the power of Amazon to sell it. And it became something that has really been life-changing for me, so much so that I'm giving this business model a success rating of 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 because there's still a way to go, still a lot of things that I want to do, but so far it has been something that has changed my life. It's taught me so much. It's 3 things that are really important to me. Number 1, it's scalable, right? It can grow. I scaled this business to over 6 figures in revenue in its first year, and now do multiple 6 figures each year in revenue because of the power of a private label and Amazon combined. This thing is scalable. The second thing I love about it is it's flexible. I work when I want to work. I am someone that works hard, and this is a business that you can't just click your fingers and be a millionaire overnight. It takes work, it takes investment, blood, sweat and tears, right? But I do that on my terms. I can work when I choose to work, and when my kids come home from school, I can go and play with them. I can go and spend time with them. When they're on half-term holidays, I can spend more time with them and then catch up on work another time. It's something that's flexible and fits my lifestyle. Third thing I love about it is it's brandable. It's a saleable asset that I am building in this business. So I'm not just working for cash flow right now to pay the bills. My goal is on the future and the brand that I'm building, and selling the brands that I'm building one day for a large payout in order to be able to provide for the future of my life, my kids' lives, and make a generational impact, right? So these are the things I love about the Amazon FBA business model. Me personally, I am doubling down on this business model over this year, 2019. I'm doing everything I can to keep building the brands that we're building, to keep growing them, and just see where this amazing journey of Amazon takes us. So those are the business models I've tried to date. I've got a few other things in the works that maybe one day I'll do like an update video of this. But like I say, without doubt, the most powerful and most successful business I have ever tried is the Amazon FBA private label business model. And so if this is something that you'd like to get involved in or like to start, I've actually got a free ebook which there'll be a link for in the description below, just really detailing how you can get started building your own private label brand on Amazon. It's something that really has transformed my life, and now I want to help as many other people as possible have their lives change and really build a business that allows them to have financial freedom, impact the world, and make the world a better place. So if you want to learn more about that, make sure you do grab that. Drop me a comment below. Maybe there's a business that you've tried that's been super successful, or some lessons you've learned along the journey. Let me know below. What have you tried? What's worked? Any of the 10 that I've tried that you've tried, and maybe you've found more success than me in one area, right? Because some businesses are more suited to other people than others. And, for me, it's something that I love is building brands and marketing and creating great products. Whereas for you, maybe there's a different kind of business that you love and are great at. So let me know. Would love to chat in the comments below. And make sure, if you are someone that wants to build a business to give you financial freedom, that you do hit my face and subscribe, and turn that notification bell on, because I've got some great stuff planned for you in the coming months to help you along that journey. Thanks so much for watching today. I will see you in the next video.